No, I got makeup on! Thank you. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be creating this video. The older I get, the more I love organization. I feel like now that I have my own apartment, it's like to a whole new level. So obviously this is a pantry organization video and I'm going to show you how I did it, how I planned it, and what it looks like before and after. Okay, so this is what my pantry looks like now, and I do like the layout of it. So I'm going to keep it like that, but it's obviously just going to be a little bit more organized. Right now my pantry just doesn't make sense. There's like the same product in each shelf. So before you jump into organizing your pantry, I think it's really important to get some inspiration and know what you want it to look like and how you want it to function. So for me, I just looked on Pinterest and I looked on YouTube and just Googled a few ideas. I sort of put together a little mood board of a pantry that works for me and my lifestyle. So I feel like there's some pantries out there that look so awesome, they're so aesthetically pleasing, but when you really look at it, it's not very practical and it doesn't make sense. So for me, it was really important that it makes sense and it inspires me to cook. Step 2 is measuring it out. So I just grabbed a tape measure and I decided to measure the height, the depth and the width of each shelf because I didn't want to have in my head that I was going to have these amazing jars on my shelf and then I didn't have enough space. And then I ended up drawing that out and creating sort of a diagram. What is it called? A plan? When you make a diagram, what's a tradie term for that?
Yeah, a plan or a diagram, yeah. We usually call it a plan.
Okay. And then step 3 and 4 sort of mesh together. So this is where you really get to organize your pantry and decide what you want it to look like and how it's going to be set out. I hate going to the shops and roaming around and then having to refer back to my measurements. So I sat at my dining table with my laptop and my piece of paper and pen and I designed my pantry whilst referring to some stores. So I would say, yep, I want to get that from Kmart, and I would draw it into the diagram. So I feel like I had a really specific plan of what I wanted to do and I could go straight to the shops, buy it all, bang, bang, bang. It was so easy, very efficient, if you ask me. My advice to you is plan it, draw it out, organize where you're going to get everything, grab it in one haul, and then the rest is like so much fun. Okay, my mom is going to be so proud of me for this next step. Step number 5 is clearing out your whole pantry and cleaning it. And I'm gonna be honest, I almost skipped this step because I was like, we haven't even lived here for that long. Like, it won't even be dirty, that's not even gross. But when I took everything out, it was pretty gross. Like, it's pretty dusty, and especially if you have like honey or syrups or nut butters in your pantry, that tends to seep out a little bit. So I just made sure to clean everything really, really well. And now you have a beautiful blank canvas and the fun part begins. A fun domestic princess puzzle piece. While I did have a plan like written out, it's always a little bit different when you actually get in there and you see it in real life. When I was designing the whole thing, I wanted it to be flexible, but what happens if you come home with like boxes and boxes of granola, which is the norm in our household, and then you have nowhere to put it. So for me, I think it's important to have some empty places or some spare containers ready for the food that you're going to buy in the future. Make it look pretty, but also think about like your future self. So I ended up finding these plastic drawers, and it was really cool because they actually have handles on it, and I decided to put all of my unopened Topeka products back up there because obviously I don't really use them every single day because they're unopened. With the drawers, I tried to make a theme, my protein powders, and the next drawer I would put all my green powder. The other drawer I would do my immunity powders. Again, for the second shelf, I like what I had there before, some Topeka products and my vitamins for everyday use. And I found these really, really cool, long, skinny plastic containers, and they have an opening at the front. You can just grab them, you don't have to actually pull the whole drawer out. So I really like those, and I got 2 of those, and all of these containers right now are from Big W, and I think they were all under like $5. They were pretty affordable. I decided to use glass because number 1, I think it keeps your food a lot fresher, but also the food that is stored in the plastic can actually absorb some of the toxins from the plastic. So I just like to be safe. I like to do glass. I feel like it's a little bit more natural and holistic, and I just think it looks really cute as well. To make it even better, they are labeled. So I just got this label up from Woolworths, and I'm gonna be honest, I went to Big W and I brought a label maker, and it was black, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. And then I was in Woolworths just doing our grocery shopping, and I saw a baby pink one. So I went all the way back to Big W, returned the black one, and I bought the pink one. If you have guests, I think it's just a lot more welcoming if everything is labeled. So if you say, hey, can you grab me the acai? they can grab you the acai. And I also found this cute little shelf, so I decided to put some big jars on top of the shelf and then just layer the other jars in front of it. I tried to layer the jars based on usage, so how much I use things. So something like my protein is going to be at the front, so I've got all of my Topeka stuff and then a lot of my Loving Earth powders. So I'd call this the superfood shelf. Then I also found this helpful little tray that you can slide into the shelf, and I like to put my Glad wrap foil and baking paper there and also some Ziploc bags. Below this is shelf number 4, my ultimate favorite shelf. Like when I just look at this shelf, I feel sick with excitement. The baking shelf, my kind of baking shelf, and it looks like a mini health food store. So I've got all of my flours, so like my almond meal, my flax meal, coconut flour, and also my nuts and seeds and some dried fruit as well. And again, everything is in glass. So for this level as well, I got 3 large glass containers. So brown rice, I don't really eat rice, but that is for Kurt. Oats, again, that is for Kurt. And then the activated bikinis, which are for me because we go through those like crazy because I use them in all of my cookings. Okay, if you follow my channel, you know that we have a snacking cupboard in our kitchen, and this snacking cupboard is not featured on this video. Our snacking cupboard is the highest cupboard in our kitchen, and it's separate because if I saw these snacking shelves every day, I would literally just eat Blue Dinosaur bars and Loving Earth for every single meal. So I keep my proper snacking cupboard totally separate to my pantry, but I have put a snacking shelf into the pantry, if that makes sense. And this is more so for Kurt, but I do have a few things there as well. It's just sort of a smaller version from the Topeka ones, and I have put my chips in there. And when I say chips, they're actually kale chips. They're from Loving Earth, so they're the kind of chips that we have in our house. So if you're like a meticulous organizer like me, look how perfectly these chips fit into the drawers. I know, I was dying. And then I also got 2 square plastic containers, and I didn't really care that these ones were plastic. It's not like I'm putting powders or nuts or dried fruit. Everything is already in a wrapper. So I got 1 for me and 1 for Kurt. And then next to all of our snacks are our replenishers. So I've got like my bone broth, our coconut milk. This section will probably change around a lot. It depends what we're into that month. Sometimes we have a lot of granola. Well, we always have a lot of granola. And under that is for our plastic bags and for our root vegetables. I actually used that same sort of tray from the Glad wrap. I put our sweet potato up there, and then I ended up grabbing one of our shopping bags and stuffing all of the plastic bags into that bag. So it's just really easy to grab, and we pretty much just use those plastic bags for our bin liners. And voila, that is our final pantry, and I absolutely love it. But I just wanted it to be super flexible, functional, and inspire me to cook. And for me, it really does that. Like every single time I open my pantry, I just want to bake something delicious or cook something for Kurt and I. It really gets me excited to be in the kitchen. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun making it, like a little too much fun that now I want to just go and organize everything in the house. Kurt, we should have a labeling day and just like organize the whole house and label everything.
Okay.
That is my idea of a good time. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, because it really supports my channel. And let me know if there's any specific videos that you guys want to see, especially if it's like organizing or household stuff, because I'm like so into that now. #domestic princess. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every 3 days. I will see you in my next video. Bye!